Hello, my name is Ikechukwu Ogwuegbu. I was initially at the University of Maryland in College Park playing football, but then I ended up transferring to Wagner College in Staten Island, where I currently play. And my college experience, I would say I've had a pretty good college experience. I met a lot of people at the University of Maryland. I say lifelong friends. A lot of quality coaches and connections at the University of Maryland. And then when I went to Wagner College, I was pretty much trying to finish up my college career. Get my degree and play my last two seasons of meaningful football. So
Right.
that's pretty much what my college experience was like. I definitely enjoyed playing college football. There were a lot of ups, but there were also a lot of good moments that I enjoyed as well. So
Right.
coming into college, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I came from school in Prince George's County in Maryland,
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, so to switch from high school games to playing in Big Ten arenas and traveling to different states week to week and seeing other fans and seeing like people in different areas, that was like an amazing experience for me. So it over exceeded my expectations. I would say I transferred, because when I got towards like the end of my time at the University of Maryland, we had a new coaching staff come in, and like prior to that new coaching staff come in, my 20 what year are we in now? We're in 2020. So my 2018 season, that summer, my teammate had passed away, unfortunately. With through a on the field like incident during like a workout and stuff like that. So
Right.
that kind of like really like shook me pretty much. So there was like a big investigation that went on that
Mm-hmm.
regarded that. So like from that point, I was kind of like starting to think like if I really wanted to play football at Maryland, and when the new coaches came in, I kind of was thinking, it's a fresh new start, having to prove yourself to a whole new coaching staff,
Right.
and at that time I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to, so I felt like it'd be best for me to, find somewhere new to play football at. So I decided to transfer. It
All
was
right.
definitely like a culture shock for me when I first got to Wagner, because I never really like been to New York like that, so
Right.
going there, city life, everything moving fast and stuff like that, that was definitely a culture shock. But being at that school, it's a lot smaller it's a lot smaller than the University of Maryland. So
Mm-hmm.
the people there are more, the classes are smaller, there's more focus on each individual person. So I feel like it was definitely a good change for me, and I feel like it was a good fit for me overall. So for me, I would say transferring socially impacted me because I had been at the University of Maryland for 3 years, so I made all my friends, all my
Right.
teammates, made all those connections there. So like just to like pack that up and then go to a new school, being I can't even remember, maybe a redshirt. Yeah, I was a redshirt junior. I was a little older, so didn't really have that like desire to go out and socialize. I
Right.
kind of wanted to, get that degree, play football, and get out of there. So that's how it impacted me. Going to Wagner, I was kind of more introverted than I was at the
Right.
University of Maryland. Financially, it helped me a lot though, because at at Maryland, I was actually a walk on at the time. I was a preferred walk on. So
Right.
when I went to Wagner, they offered me a full scholarship to play football there. So like
Oh,
that
wow.
was definitely, yeah, that was definitely a big thing for me. That was another part of the reason why I decided to
Go there.
transfer from Maryland to Wagner, so I could have my education paid for. So yeah, freshmen, they kind of have like they have introductory stuff like, hey,
Right.
this is this person, you get to like grow with the people that come in their freshman year. But like I came in like July, and then we didn't even have all the team with us in July. So like August, people were just seeing these new faces, like, hey, these are your teammates. These are who you're gonna be battling with for the fall. So it
Right.
was it was a little more, it was difficult, but yeah, it worked out. Um, I would say I've had a lot of coaches, like a lot of like head coaches, position coaches, and stuff like that since I've been in college. I think about like four or five, maybe. So like a
Yeah.
different position coach every year. But every coach has their own strengths and weaknesses, just like we do as people, as humans. But like, honestly, I would say that certain coaches would communicate things better. Certain coaches knew a little bit more about the game than others. So like, it was just like you would pull the strengths and weaknesses from each coach, and you would try to develop yourself. You know what I mean? So that's how I see it. So
Right.
I definitely the coaches that were more like technical and were like, hey, this is how you do this. This is like teaching me the game, were the ones that I definitely like appreciate appreciate it more, than the ones that were kind of like, I value the life skills that they were teaching me and like looking after me and stuff. But I'm kind of like a pretty self-driven person. I don't really get into a lot of trouble or have any issues or stuff like that. So the ones that were just teaching me the game and that didn't really have to worry about me like day to day were the ones that I definitely benefited from. So definitely say that there's a problem. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a problem, but I would say it could be improved. The way that the transfer system works and stuff like that. Just the fact that like when you transfer, you have to sit out a year, but coaches can hop from school to school without ever having to worry about sitting out or anything like that. And a lot of times, what you get when you visit these schools isn't necessarily who you're gonna get as a coach. So certain people aren't meant to how do I even explain this? Like certain personalities clash. You know what I mean? So like a coach is, of course, as she's recruiting you, a coach is going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to like hype you up and make you want to come to his school. So you can play for a school. But then once you get there, you guys' personalities might not necessarily be where they're supposed to be for you guys to both be successful, cooperating with each other. So I would definitely say there's like a need for an improvement in how the system works, or just like how people evaluate what school they're going to go to. I was blessed enough where the guys that I was with on my visits to Wagner, as well as the dudes that I knew from Maryland at the time when I was considering going there, they were people that like they just kept it a stack with me. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna come here, you gotta work. It's not gonna be sweet. You're gonna have to put in the work." So I appreciate the transparency they had with me for sure, but I'm not sure if that's the same experience that everybody gets. So say, yeah, other schools you visit, they'll tell you one thing or another, and then but I went with Maryland. I went with Wagner because those are the schools that were the most straightforward. They were like, hey, this is what it is. You're gonna come here. You're gonna have to earn what you get. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm not even sure if like Maryland or Wagner was the right place. I feel like both of those. I needed to go to both of these schools. I needed to go to the big school. Have that experience, meet those people, and then I needed to go to a smaller school, be more focused. And do what I needed to do at the school I'm at now. So I feel like I don't really regret any decision that I made. I feel like everything happened for a reason, and I'm grateful for the opportunities I was given at both schools. So I feel like if I had a resource like this, I could have, went to go search like, hey, what's this coach like? What's this coach like? Like get like a real feedback from student athletes at those institutions, as well as maybe like recruits or something like that, so I can figure out like, hey, will I mesh well with this coach? Is this a coach that has the same values as me, that will respect me and stuff like that? Because I feel like that's something very important that people need to look into more than just like the flashy uniforms, the stadiums and stuff like that. At the core level, this is someone that you're going to be talking with and working with every day. So it has to be somebody that you can work with effectively. So I feel like that would help me a lot.
Do you think that athletes should fill out these surveys and rank their coaches and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. Something that I noticed was like after the stuff happened at the University of Maryland with my teammate passing, unfortunately, and them doing like an investigation through about the culture and stuff like that, they started to do a lot more survey-based things. Talking to student athletes, getting their opinions on how they feel about things, and I feel like that was a good catalyst for change. So I definitely feel like there's a need for like surveys year to year, season to season, so you can really understand what the student athletes are going through and get a better understanding of where they're at mentally and stuff like that. So yeah. The importance of getting to the right coach and finding a good fit. It's everything. Like if you want to be successful in college, you really got to find the coach that will put you in the best position to be successful. A lot of schools just want to stack really talented players, and have a whole bunch of talented players on their roster in case someone goes down. But you want to go to the school where they can plug you in and have you be successful, as well as have teammates around you and people that you can be successful with as well. So I feel like that's why having the right fit is more important than all the flashy stuff. So if you give coaches too much power, and a lack of oversight, then there's a liability for anything to happen. You know what I mean? Just like at my school, what happened? I feel like after what happened, they started to have more oversight over monitoring different programs and stuff like that. So I feel like it's definitely important to monitor like every level of like college athletics pretty much, so people can give feedback on how they can improve at every level. So yeah, no
I
problem. All right, I'll catch you later.